Honestly, if you stuck to the same routine for a month, you would see changes in your physique. If you took a before and after pic from a month of when you started your routine that you're going to stick to, and then took an after pic, you would see changes. Let's say 5 days out the week, you pick a routine, and each of those days, you do four work resistance training workouts for each of those days, right? And you stick to it. No bullshit. You don't fuck around, you do what you're supposed to do on those days. Your physique will change. Your performance will change. The issue is this that you don't stick to it, you're not consistent enough, and you quit too soon. I'm Chike. I built a physique. I've stayed consistent for 8 years. I started lifting weights roughly when I was, I'd say 15, 16. I can't even remember, but it's been almost a decade that I've been consistent in the gym and I've never quit. I've always stayed consistent because I'm simply just a gym rat at heart. I'm a bit of an addict, and I want to give you 8 years, well, almost a decade's worth of no bullshit gym and fitness and muscle building advice. So let's get into the video. My first advice that I tell people when they want to start going to the gym or they want to start getting fit or whatever is to start at home. Don't waste your money on a gym if you don't need to. And I'm going to tell you, if you're skinny or whatever, just average building, you have no lifting experience, start with doing body weight training at home. Get you a pull up bar from Walmart or just start on the floor, whatever, and start from home. Me personally, when I first started training, I started doing push ups off the wall. I couldn't even do push ups off the floor. I was so weak. I started doing push ups off the wall. I started doing pull ups off of like the door frame. I had to do things that most people didn't really do because I didn't have a whole lot of resources at the time. But point is that I started at home. I started building my body at home. And then once I got good at that, I was already seasoned enough. So then I started moving to the gym and then I could lift more weight than other people. But the benefit in that isn't exactly moving more weight than other people. It's getting your muscle motor neuron connections used to moving a load. And that's what I want to get into. People think that muscle building is just you moving your body and you're breaking down a tissue structure in your body, right? And then you're rebuilding it and getting the protein to repair your muscles and etc. And yes, that's true. But what they don't know, what they don't fully understand is that your muscle growth is your muscle, it completely depends on your muscle motor neuron connections. It depends on your muscle to neuron connections from your brain to your muscle. It's what your brain senses as far as the damage in your muscle and the damage in your body, that it's going to then send hormones to that part of your body to repair it. And when you get your body used to doing that at home, when you pick up weights, your growth is going to be not only smoother but faster than other people who just come straight from home, not having any experience, into going into the gym. Once you get your body primed for activating those muscle motor neuron connections in the body, and then you go to the gym, you're going to see faster growth because, again, not to repeat myself, but your body's going to be used to having those connections, and your body's going to be like, man, I done this shit about 1,000 times at home because you've been making me do push-ups and pull-ups. I'm finna go ahead and knock this shit out pretty fast for you. I'm finna go ahead and I already know what to do. I know how to send the chemicals and all this shit to your body to make sure that your body grows properly. My second point is nutrition really ain't that deep, bro. Nutrition really ain't that deep. People want to sit up here and act like nutrition is the end all be all of fitness. It's not. I'm not gonna sit up here and deny that it's not, that it's 50% of the work that you do though. It genuinely is. The thing is that work isn't that hard. And if you want to know how to do nutrition, this is it. Eat whole foods. Know how to cook your meals. Cook your damn meals. Stop going to McDonald's. Stop going to fast food. Stop eating birthday cakes every week. Stop eating Hot Pockets. Stop eating pizza rolls. Stop eating ding dongs. Eat whole ingredient foods and you can get jacked like this. You can have a good looking body because that's what your body naturally needs. You can outtrain a suboptimal diet, but you cannot outtrain a horrible, shitty diet. Now, I'm aware of the guys online who do dirty bulking, and you see these fuckers online, they'll go ahead and talk about something. I eat a whole pizza every week because I'm bulking. And this is what I got to say about it. You finna be unhealthy as shit if you're going to sit up here and bulk like that. You can do it. And I'm not going to say you not finna be stronger, bro. You finna get stronger, yeah. Yeah, you're going to have, because you're going to be in such a caloric surplus that your muscles don't have no choice but to have a shit ton of energy to use to move your body. You're going to get stronger if you do dirty bulk, but you're also going to get a lot more unhealthy. You're going to get bigger, but you're not going to be able to see the definition of your muscles to see the abs, to see the pec, to see the divot in between the pecs and the pec lines and all the other muscles that you have in your body, because it's just going to be covered in a layer of fat, because that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to get fat, you're going to get unhealthy, and it's not going to look attractive. And then you're going to have to go back to a cut. Whereas with nutrition, what you should do is simply tailor your intake. If you're trying to get in a caloric surplus, eat your 3 meals a day, add 500 calories to those meals, and then train. Add 500 calories before 30 minutes to an hour before your training. And then if you're trying to cut, instead of eating 3 meals a day, eat two, and then give yourself 400 calorie meal for like the third meal. Learn how to take it a step down and a step up, instead of going on the far extreme end of eating 6,000 calories a day and doing all this crazy shit and eating all this bullshit, because you're going to make yourself unhealthy, for one, and number two, it's not sustainable. You don't need to sit up here and be jacked with hypertension. There's nothing really cool about that. But the main thing is eat whole foods. Nutrition is not that deep. You can take all the work out of finding nutritional articles and getting all these nutritionist guides and all this shit if you just know how to cook for yourself and eat whole foods. The next thing that's also kind of related to that is supplements. And with this, I would say know how to do the essential tasks when it comes down to fitness. There's so many people who will talk to me and they're either severely overweight, severely underweight, or just have no fitness experience. And they always ask me this question. And if you're a guy who's fit like me, you probably understand too. What protein do you recommend? Fucker, protein, there ain't no certain protein. you There ain't no other types of protein, bro. There is protein. Get protein. You can get protein from chicken, from red meats, from black beans. You can get protein from many different sources, both plant and animal. The issue is you just need to make sure that you get protein. People are so focused on supplements, focused on getting new gym gear and all these different things and creatine, where if you were to stay consistent, you wouldn't have to worry about that stuff. People are more worried about getting all these supplements and all these different things instead of actually just being consistent. Do the essential tasks in the gym. It's like you're trying to get more confident with girls, and what you do is, oh, you get a haircut and you get new clothes. No, bro, go talk to him. Go talk to him. Go to the gym. Build your body. Maybe get a job. Have some money in your pocket, right? Have a balance on your debit card, maybe. All that other shit that you're trying to do don't even matter, because at the end of the day, what matters is that you train, you eat properly, and you recover properly. That's it. If you know how to train consistently, eat properly, and recover properly, you're gonna get the results. But if you want to talk about supplements, we can talk about it briefly, because when it comes down to protein, your muscles are only gonna take what they need. You need 0.81 grams to 2. You can go up to 2 grams per pound of body weight. There ain't no such thing as too much protein, and simply because your body is going to just take what it needs. But your body won't need protein if you're not giving it the stress that it needs to require the protein. And that's why I say training is the most important thing. Another thing that I will say is creatine is the first initial reserve that your muscle's going to look to when it comes down to doing certain workouts and or whatever. The thing is that creatine is actually, it's found in mostly red meats. Fact check me on this. But for the most part, creatine is best ingested when supplemented. So do take creatine. Again, supplements aren't necessary, they're optional, but do take creatine. And if you do, take 5 milligrams of creatine a day, and that'll get you jump started on building more muscle. But if you haven't even started yet, just to tell you the truth, supplements is the least of your worries. Next thing I want to say is that your split doesn't really matter. Your split is irrelevant, bro. The perfect split doesn't exist. You need to find a plan, find workouts that work for you, and stick to it. That is the most important thing that you can. That's probably the most important lesson that you can get from this video. Find a plan that you fuck with, and just don't give up on it. Give it a month before you switch. Give it 2 months before you switch. Consistency will always be complexity. It doesn't matter what YouTubers are saying. This is the most optimal shoulder routine and trap routine or chest routine. I built my big ass chest by sticking to probably 3 of the main workouts that I always love, and that's dumbbell press, bench press, and push-ups. I built my chest. Do I do flies often? No. Do I do incline chest? Yes, I do, but not as often as I do the other shit. But me sticking to something consistently is what helped me develop the body that I have. Find workouts that work for you and then stick to them. But at the same time, don't be too rigid. Be willing to try new workouts. Do be willing to go on YouTube, find different workouts. There's nothing wrong with going on YouTube and finding different workouts. I recommend people like Ryan Humiston, right? Or Jeff Nippard. I don't really watch him too much, but my favorite guy that I like to watch, Ryan Humiston. He's really good at explaining hypertrophy and those smaller muscles and other things like that. And he's pretty funny. But you want to be consistent. The main point is be consistent, stick to something, but don't be too rigid. Be willing to switch workouts to find different workouts that you can fuck with and that you're not going to give up on and that you can keep. And then stick to those workouts for at least a month at a time before you give up on them. Another thing is sometimes with certain workouts, you got to eat that damn frog, right? You got to bite the bullet and eat that damn frog. And you know what I'm talking about for the homies that is watching my video. Leg day, my boy. Yes, leg day. Let's talk about it because, I think I made a video the other day that says just hit arms every day. And if you took that shit literally, you're an idiot because obviously you can't sit up here be walking around looking like Johnny Bravo. It's not impressive. If you're the arm day every day type of guy, you don't exactly look disciplined. It's discipline to build an upper body, but to ignore your body is a certain type of lack of discipline that is portrayed through your physique that you don't want. You want to still hit legs. I shouldn't have to explain that to you, but sometimes you got to eat that frog. You just got to get under the bar. Even I have my days where I'm about to hit a squat, where I'm about to hit a bench or a heavy workout where I hesitate because I'm trying to get in the zone. But the biggest advice that I've gotten is you just got to get under that bar. You just got to go ahead and do it. You just got to get in the zone and just stop thinking about what it is that you're trying to do and just hit it. It's the same thing with people with gym anxiety. I've seen this trend online with people saying they have gym anxiety and they want to give labels to shit, and it's actually horse crap. You just have anxiety. Get over it and just do it. Gym anxiety or workout anxiety, whatever, none of these things, all these things are just excuses to not do the work that you have to do. Don't put labels on shit just to make an excuse for yourself. Eat the frog, do squats, do deadlifts, do cardio, do the workouts that you hate to, because you can eventually learn to like them. I remember when I was roughly starting high school, I think I was going into the ninth grade, I ended up having a stepbrother. I had a stepfather at the time, and he had a son, so I had a stepbrother. And he wasn't even in the gym. He was like a skinny guy. He wasn't even that athletic, but I mean, he was athletic because he was a starter on his football team and whatnot. But I was more jacked than he was. I mean, he was like a twig compared to me. And he basically fucking tested me. He was like, all you do is hit the gym. You don't even do no sports. You don't do nothing with the muscle, blah blah. So I joined football. And once I joined football, my coaches, they made me do legs. They made me hit legs, right? Because in football, you have to have strong legs. You have to have a strong squat. So I was forced to do squats and legs for the first time. And it sucked. And I remember starting off with just 35s and then 45s. And then eventually, as I was forced to do this thing, I learned to love it. So you have to have that part in you, that brain, that this ability to just turn into a robot, stop caring about your feelings, switch off, and just do the workout that you know you need to do. If you know that, okay, I have legs, get under the bar and do some squats. And maybe this is because I'm military that I'm able to do this very well, but that's not an excuse for you. Learn how to switch your brain off and do the workouts that you know you have to do. But sometimes you just got to eat that frog. It's not always about doing the workouts that you love to do and being consistent. It's about simply just having discipline. And on the note of workouts, my next point is learn how to do it right. I look up tons of workouts all the time for rear delts, for side delts, for chest, for abs, for every different type of muscle group. I'm always looking at YouTube shorts, trying to perfect my form for a military press, for every single workout that I care about. Why? It's because when you do it right, you get the work out of it. And when you do it wrong, you simply get injured. Don't be afraid to look shit up and find the proper way to do your workouts, because it actually shows that you have a lot of character and a lot of discipline. It shows that you care about your craft, know how to perfect the shit that you're doing. Because if you just go at it in the gym and you just think, oh, Chike said be consistent, so I'm just gonna do this because I like it and it feels right, you're not gonna get better. I used to lead PT up at my old squadron in tech school, And the amount of guys that I'd see that can't do proper push-ups is honestly pathetic. And in my course, I have modules where it's calisthenics courses, and I'm going to show you how to do proper forms when it comes to pull-ups and push-ups and other workouts. If you're interested in that, go ahead, check it out. Top link in the description. Currently, it's in the building phase and the creation phase, so it's half off now, but once it's actually pushed out and completed, it's going to be full price. So go ahead and get in on that opportunity while you still can. But you want to make sure that you do proper form. You need to push yourself. You can't, there's no point in you going to the gym and you're not seeing where your limit's at. There's absolutely no point. And I'm going to make a separate video on this, but you need to make sure that you're actually reaching your limits. It's like, for those of y'all like who are in school or obviously went to school, hopefully all you guys went to school. There's always that one kid who's probably like short or an athlete or something, and he'll try and like touch the ceiling in the classroom when he jumps. He'll always try and like touch the highest point of whatever room he walks in. If y'all you know who I'm talking about, like there's always that one kid that's always trying to like jump and touch some shit. That's how you should be. You should always be trying to see how far you can go. You should be trying to see how much you can do. If I can do 10 reps of 30 pounds on shoulder raises and I did 10 reps, I didn't slow down the movement all the way through, I should be picking up 45s. If you do 10 reps of 50 pounds on dumbbell bench press, right? And you do 10 reps and you don't slow down, the fact you even did 10 reps, your mindset should be, oh, I'm better than doing 10 reps 50 pounds. I beat that level. So I should be going on the next one. You pick up the 50 fucking fives. You pick up the 55s and you do the same amount of reps and you just keep going up. That's how you should train. You should always be progressively overloading your workouts. And my last point is that when it comes down to a body transformation, building an aesthetic physique, etc., it's a lonely battle. Do it alone. Don't stop trying to go with your friends. Stop trying to go with your girlfriend, and don't take distractions with you. Go alone. Now, I'm not saying, let me clarify what I mean on this point because I think people got the wrong idea. You're not taking away from yourself and your growth by going with, well, you kind of are because you're a bit distracted. But let's give you the best case scenario. Going to assume that you going with certain people makes you better, because there are people who find friends or are in a relationship or find groups that help them push themselves in the gym and they have a good gym session. But that's the thing. It's one gym session. You had a great gym session because of a person. Are you going to have great gym sessions 5 days a week for 2 to 3 months for the rest of your life because of that same person, because of people? Are you going to lead a lifestyle of fitness for the rest of your life because of people? Are people always going to be there? I know people ain't always going to be able to go to the gym when I want to go to the gym at 2 p.m. or when my schedule changes, because my life isn't another person's life. I'm just one person. I have shit I have to do. You have shit you have to do. You should have shit that you have to do. You have responsibilities. Not everyone can adapt to your plans. If you want to stay consistent and make this a lifelong change and make this a lifestyle change, you have to be somebody that goes alone. If someone says, oh, I'm starting a diet or I'm pescatarian now, they don't do it because someone else is doing it with them. It's because they, in their own mind and their own mindset, they realize that the other way of eating is worse for me. So this is the shit that I'm going to do from now on. That's the mindset you have to have. So when I say go alone, that's what I mean, because you need to realize it's a lifestyle change. It's not something that you take your damn group or gang or squad, them little boys in high school that be taking their group and gang and then their squad and they show up to the gym in PJs and Crocs and shit recording. Fuck that. The guy who goes alone and goes by himself when everyone else is playing a game, when everyone else is at home on a schedule every single day because he's self-motivated, will be the guy who beats the other guy who needs to go in a group, who needs to go with friends. Because very often I see people talk about, yeah, we used to go to the gym at this one gym, but now that my friends don't go, I stopped going. What the fuck do they have to do with you? It's your lifestyle. So my final tip is understand it's a lifestyle change. You're not someone who's getting a new physique, who's building muscle and he's gonna have a new physique and that's it. You're someone who is now, I'm just somebody who resistance trains and works out and builds muscle. Even though I have the physique that I have, as you can see, it doesn't mean I'm not finna hit the gym. I'm hitting the gym later in like a couple hours. And I'm gonna keep going to the gym when I'm in my 30s, when I'm in my 40s, 50s, and 60s. I'm gonna go to the day I die. I might end up dying in that bit. I might end up dying under the bar, just passing out from old age, because that's just my lifestyle, and that's how you need to be. But anyway, guys, if you want to keep learning, go ahead and click on this video. Goodbye.